Hey guys, welcome back to the Beehive and welcome back to another Help Me Rhonda video. I'm actually going to be filming quite a few recipe videos today, guys, because we're going to be going on vacation next week and I need to have some videos filmed and ready to go live for you guys on the daily, and then you guys will see some vacation videos for spring break. But these are some recipes that I've actually probably shared in my vlogs. I've never shared the recipe. What I meant to say is I've shared these foods, and a lot of you have been like, I want to know, how to make that. Like, what's the recipe? And so that's why I love this series, the Help Me Rhonda series, where I can do a lot of my recipes now and also have them documented on YouTube, because you never know, later on my kids might be like, oh, I remember when mom used to make this. I wonder if she has a recipe on YouTube for it. So anyways, today we are going to be making some homemade granola bars. You guys, I'm gonna tell you what, it is so easy to make granola bars, and I would totally avoid buying any granola bars from this. My recipe is gonna be very much customizable. I'm gonna give you the base of it, and then you can kind of take it from there. I'm gonna make one kind, but I'm gonna tell you a couple different ways where you can like change it up, ingredients, where I look for my ingredients and things like that. So we're gonna make this really easy for you guys to give you a nice base to work with. And the other nice thing is you don't have to bake it. Once you prepare it and you place it in your dish, it goes right in the fridge to set, and then after that you can just leave it in the fridge and just take one out as you wish. And for the most part, like the ones I'm going to show you are going to be raw whole foods, so it's so much healthier for you. There's no preservatives or things like that. So great recipe, and let's get started. So let me tell you what the main ingredients are that you are going to need. You're going to need dates, and let me show you the kind that I get. So you don't have to get the brand, but that is the kind of date. And that's important. These dates are a really good size, because they do have smaller dates. And I'm sure you can make the recipe with a smaller date, but you're gonna have to use more. But these are really soft too. So you can kind of see it sit in the palm of my hand. Like, it's almost the size of my index finger, okay? So they're pretty good sized dates. So that's one ingredient you're gonna need for the base. The other base ingredient is going to be oats, okay? And this is just old-fashioned rolled oats, and I always buy 2 containers, or I always have 2 containers on hand, because the other ingredient that makes this just stick together perfectly is oats, but I put them in my food processor and made oat flour, okay? And so we'll be adding that. And the other base ingredient is agave. You can use honey, or you can also use maple syrup. Honey is not vegan. I don't know if any of you guys knew that, but it's not vegan. I use the blue agave because it doesn't spike insulin. And with this being kind of a high carb snack, I'm gonna show you how to make it a lower carb as well. I stick with the blue agave to make sure there's no like extra added sugars like through the maple syrup and things like that, or honey for that matter. Okay, so that is basically what the base is. Let's talk about different kinds of granola bars you can make, because let me just tell you, you can get so creative with this. And it's one of them things where it doesn't matter what you put in it, it's probably gonna turn out pretty awesome. 2 ingredients that I always put in mine is I will put flaxseed, milled flaxseed, and chia seeds, all right? Now, the nice thing about the flaxseed is it cuts the carbs. So for fiber, when you have things that have fiber and things like that, if you guys are looking out to lower carbs, you want to add this. It will lower your carbs pretty substantially. I even put this like in my oatmeal when I eat oatmeal in the morning. I put it in my cakes. The kids don't even know that it's there. And I just incorporate it in my foods like sweets and things like that to cut the carbs. And then chia seeds are just, they're just so good for you. Chia seeds are really good for weight loss. If you guys want to see a recipe on how to make chia seed pudding, let me know, because that is absolutely delicious. I'll probably just make it anyway for you. The other fun thing that's nice to add is nuts and seeds, okay? I do have some sunflower seeds here, and try to stay away from like salted and roasted. Just try to buy raw. I mean, you can buy roasted. I would avoid anything that's salted, just because you don't need the extra salt in a granola bar that's gonna have so many ingredients to begin with. But these are unsalted, and I've also used like raw almonds. You can put them whole, like on top, or you can chop them up and incorporate them in. That's really good. And for when you have that sweet tooth, make yourself some chocolate granola bars. I've actually made a granola bar before. It was, I used coconut and chocolate, cacao nibs, and I used cacao powder, where I made like a chocolate drizzle on top, and it was so good, but I don't have any cacao powder. I went to my local Marshalls and they didn't have any in stock. But that moves on to the next ingredient that's really fun to add, is coconut flakes. You can incorporate them in the mix itself, or you can sprinkle it on top. Okay, shout out to this company. If you guys are seeing this video, please give me a call, contact me or something. I love this company. They put out amazing product. It's called Wild and Raw, and I go to Marshalls, and I've just recently discovered, because one of you told me, that Big Lots sells this brand as well. Well, let me show you what I have. Okay, this is my newest blend that I've never used. I'm excited to use it. It's gonna be really, really good. I don't know what I'm gonna use it in yet. Maybe a granola bar, or maybe even like chia pudding or something like that. Okay, this is what I'm gonna be using today. This is by far probably my most favorite blend that they make. Oh, this is so good in granola bars, let me just say. I do have this blend in cranberry as well, and I think I'm gonna show you guys how to make, Chick-fil-A has a superfoods, and it is so delicious, and you can put their cranberries in it. Oh, so good. All right, the nice thing I like about their products is, one, it's raw, right? Okay, so if you're on a raw diet, organic, vegan, gluten-free, no preservatives, zero trans fat, cholesterol-free, and no artificial colorings. But they have so many products to choose from, you guys. Go check them out. USDA organic approved, and it's just, I can't rave enough about this company. I absolutely love them. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started. But one thing I want to mention with your dates, I have been soaking mine for about a half an hour. It's going to help soften them up, and also if you don't have a high-speed blender, it's important that you soak them. You don't want to burn up the motor. And I went ahead and just strained my dates and have them off to the side here. All right, so here we go with the base. Let's go ahead and get started. We're gonna add 1.5 cups of your whole oats, okay? So this is a half cup here. I'm gonna put 3 of them in. And then you wanna add a half a cup of the oat flour. Perfect. The next thing I'm gonna add is, I'm gonna use, let's say, 2 tablespoons of chia seeds. Chia seeds are always fun. They get stuck in your teeth. You'll love it. And I'm gonna do 2 tablespoons of my flaxseed. And I will almost always put this in all of my base recipes, because it's just so good for you. And you can omit those 2 ingredients there if you don't have them, by all means. And then I'm gonna add a whole package of the power berries, the mulberries, and the goji berries. It's 3.5 ounces in this package, and this was $2.95, just to give you an idea. I'm gonna go ahead and stir this mixture up, and then just give you guys a visual of what it's looking like. So that is what the mixture looks like. It's pretty dry. Next up, we're gonna go ahead and blend our dates. So I'm gonna put them in my food processor here and blend these up, and I'll bring it back and show you what it looks like. All right, so this was more of a process than I anticipated. I've actually never soaked my dates before. And so what I found in my food processor is that it kind of just turned it into mush and wouldn't blend it into like dough as kind of the form that you want to put it in. So what I decided to do, and it worked, and you may need to do it as well, add some oat flour to the mixture when it's blending, and it'll kind of help dry it out a little bit to where it turns into this like dough looking. I've never had to soak mine because I have a high-speed blender. And so if you have a high-speed blender, you typically don't need to soak them. Also, the other thing with dates is be sure that you're taking the pits out. There's actually little seeds inside. So here is what the little seeds look like. You do not want to put these in your blender. You'll tear it up. Here's what the final mixture looks like. If yours comes together more in a ball, like a dough ball, that's fine as well. But at least try to get it to nice, smooth consistency like this. All right, so now what I'm gonna do actually is I'm going to add my agave, and I start out usually with about a quarter cup and mix it before I put the dough in, because that's when you kind of got to get in dirty with your hands. So I will put about a quarter cup, and I'm just eyeballing it because here's the thing, you really can't overdo it. But this kind of will start the process of all the ingredients conforming together, if you will. Kind of soaks up that oat flour. So there it is. It's not completely dry. It does have kind of like a wet look to it. So I'm gonna leave it there just like that. And again, make sure you're washing your hands or using gloves. I'm the only one that eats these, so I just use my hands. Not a big deal. I'm just putting this whole mixture in. And it smells so, so good. The other thing, if you're making a granola bar that has like chocolate in it, or even like yogurt chips, or whatever you put in there that it kind of will soften pretty quickly, like to the touch of the hand, I would put those in last, get your mixture nice and mixed, and then just, you know, put those ingredients in last. All right, here we go. Actually, I might even just toss a little bit of this just to kind of get it started. The less I had to put my hands in it, the better, because it just makes such a mess. But be creative, you guys. Like, I've showed you some of the ingredients, other ingredients that you can use that work really well together. All right, I'm gonna get in with my hands now. Actually, before I get in with my hands, I'm gonna have my pan prepared that I'm gonna put it in. That way, since my hands will already be dirty, I'll be able to just dump it in. So I'm using an 8x8 pan, and I went ahead and put some wax paper in there, and I'll get it started. It's gonna pop out anyway. But once the mixture gets in there, it'll be all right. You could spray it with oil if you wanted to, but I'm not going to. The other thing that you might wanna have on hand, this is a lifesaver, is a flat bottom rim of some sort. I use this glass cup, and it works perfect. We're gonna use that to conform it in the pan once it's done. All right, I'm gonna get in with my hands, get it mixed up. We're gonna place it in here. And it looks like I put just enough of the agave in there, so I will not need to add any more. But if you find your mixture is not coming together really nicely like this, then you'd put some agave in there, or whatever, maple syrup or honey or whatever you're using to bind it all together. Look, I can almost take it out in one whole chunk. That's perfect. I'm gonna break this up here in my pan. And Charlie's actually tried these, and he's like, yeah, those are really good. They don't end up eating them. I still am the only one that eats them. But I think I'm gonna make some of these ahead of time and freeze them and use them for like vacation or like on the road traveling, because a lot of times there's not many options for me to eat like fast food. But if I had like granola bars and things like that, these are whole foods and really healthy, so you could eat a couple of them. I wouldn't eat a couple of the ones you buy in the grocery stores. They're just full of so much crap. Okay, I'm gonna get my hands clean and show you what I do next. Okay, so you could take your like wax paper and like push it down like that if you want, but honestly, what I have found that works really well, like I said, is just use the bottom of a glass and push it and turn it like this, okay? And that will really, really pack down everything so much better. That looks really good. Now here's where you could add like nuts and things like that, or seeds. Before you set the mixture, they'll get pushed in a lot better. I think I am gonna go ahead and add some sunflowers to this. And I'll show you what I mean. Nice thin layer, okay? You could also coat the bottom and kind of do it reverse. Have you ever seen recipes where you do that? And you can do it reverse, but just a nice thin layer. And I'm gonna use my cup again to really mash them inside of the granola. All right, I'm gonna put this on top here. This is just another cover here, and I'm just gonna do my last set here. You really just wanna make sure it's so compacted. This is when I need the hydraulic press, you guys. Y'all ever watch that channel, the hydraulic press channel? That looks pretty good. I'm actually gonna put it in the fridge. I'll come back at you when it's done and we'll get them cut up. All right, so some time has actually passed and I pulled out my granola bars from the fridge. Look at that. We're gonna go ahead and cut these up. I'm gonna show you what they look like. It's nice and firm and compact, but we're gonna go ahead and cut this up. Actually, I'm gonna get a knife, a little bit longer knife. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut this up into bar sizes. Now these are pretty hefty bar sizes. You guys can cut them up into smaller chunks if you like, but let me show you what it looks like. All right, so there is our beautiful, beautiful granola bar. You guys gotta make those. So good. All right guys, well that's actually gonna do it for today. I hope you give this recipe a try. Be sure to go over to our community tab to go ahead and comment over there if comments are turned off on today's video. And let me know maybe some other recipes that you like to see. But yeah, give this one a try guys. That's gonna do it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to subscribe if you're new. And don't forget to buzz that like button. See you guys tomorrow.